All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this is our weekly gathering, hangout, conversation with the greatest fans and the greatest YouTube community in all of horror. Talking about Halloween fans, Michael Myers fanatics, and everything in between. And to all of our returning friends, what's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. We made it through another week, and we made it through another Monday. And like I always say every week, that in itself is reason to celebrate. And of course, this week, we're celebrating much more than that because we are now less than a month away from the release of Halloween Ends. And man, we were waiting for some marketing to kick off for a long time, but in the last week since our last live gathering, holy shit. This franchise, this movie is literally vomiting material and content in the form of photos and interviews and all kinds of behind-the-scenes content that is coming out, both officially and otherwise. So we're going to talk about some of that. I'm not even going to promise that we can get into all of it tonight. Partly because there's a lot, and we're just not gonna get to all of it tonight. But also because I am exhausted. I gotta be honest with you guys. If you're regular viewers, you know we were just out of town up in Virginia over the weekend for the annual Haunted Screams Expo, and we had an amazing time. I wish I could have done more live stuff from there. We did one live on Saturday, but we've got tons of footage and content from that event coming your way in the next few days and over the next few weeks, really. We haven't even begun to start to share that stuff, really. But we were on the road all day today coming home. It's only about 2 hours from where we live, but we were on the road all day. Why? Because, of course, we had to make a couple pit stops along the way, do some Hallow hunting, you know, stop at another Spirit Halloween here and there, a Halloween City here and there, you know. So we got all of those videos coming your way later on this week as well. So I apologize in advance. My brain is a little bit like mush right now. Those of you that go to these conventions and are there all weekend, you know what I'm talking about. And but this was an awesome one. This was an awesome one. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. But first, I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to turn over here to the live chat and welcome our friends. But again, if you're new here, thank you for joining me. We're going to talk Halloween Ends. Pretty much that's all we're talking tonight is Halloween Ends. That's the news. And we're, like I said, we're not even going to go over everything that we could tonight because I don't think I'm going to make it that long. But in any case, and to everybody else, welcome and thank you as always for joining and making Mondays more killer with me. Happy Michael Myers Monday, y'all. All right. Halloween vibes in the house. What's up, ma'am? Michael Myers Mason is here as well. The great David Suber is here. Watch the Expo live video. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Rob Windsor appreciates my shirt. Thank you, sir. You know, final countdown to Ends, right? So gotta start with the first in this modern trilogy, right? Let's see, who else is in here? Zadrian has checked in as well. Thank you for joining us. Hardyverse. I see Phil is here. Tim Leo, what's up, man? And thank you for your order a few days ago on the HN's mask. I appreciate that, man. And I do appreciate your patience. I'm going to get to that bit of news here in just a second. Jenny is here as well. Awesome. I love it. Dude is here. AC Fall Guy, one of our channel members. Extra special welcome to you, sir. And an extra special thank you to you as well for being one of our channel members. And I'll use this opportunity to plug being a channel member. It's only $5 a month, guys. And you get some extra bonus content like these really cool emojis and badges that you see some of our members using in the live chat and in the comments down below. You also get early access to certain pre-recorded videos that we do from time to time. And there's some other perks listed on there as well. You just hit the join button down below if you want to learn more. It's $5 a month. Just think about it. That's all I always say. Just think about it. It helps us keep things running smoothly around here at HDN, and every little bit helps. Of course, super chats, all that is welcome as well. That's all enabled. And thank you in advance for all of that support. Let's see who else is in the live chat real quick. JL Dunn is here as well. Thank you for joining us tonight as well. Devin is here. My buddy Phil is here. Let's see. Lurch in the house. Love meeting all these fans of Michael. Well, you are in the right place, Lurch. Hell yes. This is the place, the gathering place here on YouTube anyway on Monday nights. So thank you for joining us if you're new here, and it appears you are. So awesome. Let's see. Scrolling back up just to see if I missed anybody that was in here before I am. Of course, Megan is here already. Awesome. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Brett, another one of our awesome Michael Myers Monday channel, Halloween Daily channel members, excuse me. Awesome. Well, it looks like we got a good crowd filtering in here tonight. Like I said, I'm going to forego a few of our usual traditions of like an opening show and tell because I don't have what was intended to be tonight's show and tell. Full disclosure, I was planning to have the new HN's mask here, and I was going to show you some pre-recorded showcase video and unboxing and have the mask here with me. But as you can see, I don't have it in my hand at the moment. And the reason is we don't have them in hand yet. Here's what happened. First of all, the mask dropped on Thursday, went on sale. We put it on our site for sale at 3:01 p.m. And in less than 2 hours, guys, our entire first shipment of masks sold out. Unbelievable. You guys are amazing. Some of you here purchased one of those masks. You guys are amazing. We didn't see that coming, honestly, because it hadn't even been shared yet. I didn't even share the link anywhere on social media yet at all, but it was listed on our site. So obviously some of you regular viewers are the ones that bought it and regular customers, and we love you for that, and we thank you. But here's the deal. We anticipated that the masks were going to be here last week, Friday, or at the latest today, Monday, which we knew we'd be coming home from Haunted Scream. So our intent was to arrive home, the masks would be here, they'd ship out tomorrow on Tuesday. We got an email over the weekend, because they didn't arrive on Friday, we had to leave town. We got an email over the weekend saying that they have shipped, but now they're arriving on Thursday, this Thursday. This Thursday is September 22nd, and that's a little bit fitting because it is the first day of fall, and it is actually our 10th anniversary, the 10th anniversary of the date that we actually launched HalloweenDailyNews.com. So that's a little bit fitting that these masks, which sold out in record time for us, that's when they're going to arrive. So what that means is, A, we apologize that we cannot ship them quite yet because they are not in hand. But when they arrive on Thursday, that means they are going to ship out this Friday. And if anybody has issues, then you can definitely contact us and we'll work something out. But otherwise, that's the current plan. That is the update on those masks. But as you can see here over on our store at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop, here's the listing that was never even shared, hasn't been shared yet. And we're already completely sold out. Now this is, again, a little bit of clarification though. This is sold out of our first shipment, and this is not, in fact, our entire first shipment. We are, in fact, getting more in just a few weeks. We're supposed to have more in October. So, again, I'm going to update you as this happens. What happened, again, and this is out of our control, but we were informed by Trick or Treat a few weeks ago that a third of our total order of these particular masks would be shipped last week, and they would be arriving. Again, we anticipated at the time, according to the information we were given, late last week or at the latest early this week. Now it's going to be later this week. But anyway, so it's a third of what we ordered, and we're getting the other 2/3, according to Trick or Treat Studios, in October. I don't have an exact date in October yet. Again, keep watching, stay tuned. I'll be updating you, and keep watching our store. But, wow. We honestly, we did not anticipate that we would sell out of the entire 1/3 of that order, even without even sharing the purchase link on social media or anywhere really. So it's not even like the website subscribers where every single article automatically emails right out to subscribers. But you guys, you found it on your own, you ordered it, and we thank you so much. Again, if this is causing a major inconvenience for you, I understand. Send us an email and we'll work with you and address it. But otherwise, thank you so much for your patience. We do apologize for this delay. Again, shit happens out of our control sometimes, and but we're just blown away by your response, honestly, to these masks. So that's the first Halloween Ends update of this evening, of this week, is that the officially licensed Halloween Ends mask was officially released at 3 p.m. on the dot Eastern Time this past Thursday, September, whatever date it was. It was this past Thursday, the 15th of September is when they were released. And so wholesalers like us, we reached out, authorized sellers like us, we also were allowed at that time to put the masks for sale. And you guys responded. And I'm pretty sure Trick or Treat got a lot of traffic right around that time too, because their site, I think, was down for a few minutes actually. So that gives you just a little bit of an idea. And we're not the only seller that sold out of their first shipment too. But again, I think that's because probably some other sellers were not shipped their entire shipment yet either. Got to satisfy the big boys like Party City and Spirit first before the little guys like us. It happens. But anyway, that's the update. And again, I can't wait to have the actual mask here in hand. That was going to be tonight's opener. And I plan to, get home in time to do the unboxing and do the whole pre-recorded thing and drop it for you guys, even unedited tonight, and premiere it. So as a result, we don't have that show and tell, we don't have that premiere video, but it's all good because, again, we got plenty of Halloween Ends news to talk about beyond that. So that's the update on the mask. And that is our first bit of HN's news this evening. All right. Let's turn back over here to the live chat here for just a minute. Lance Files, another one of our channel members. We call channel members the HDN Club, Halloween Daily Club. It's not that you're not all part of the club already, but that's what we call it. So another one of our channel members. Thank you, Lance, for being here. Saint has joined as well. Happy Triple M, man. Devin says, oh my God, my dad passed away today. I joined to take my mind off. Oh, I'm so sorry for you to hear that. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully we can take your mind off of that a little bit and provide a little bit of levity in what must be an unbelievably hard time. Thank you especially for giving us a few minutes during this time. Very sorry to hear that. But again, very much appreciate you being here. Byron has checked in as well. Solid Saturn is here. Thank you. Darlene has checked in. I see Michael Myers is here again doing his thing. ... David and Sue were doing his Loomis. Michael! I don't do a good Loomis. I'm not a good impressionist at all. But again, my brain is mush. I've been on the road all day. I've been out of town all weekend. So, you're getting somewhat unfiltered live HDN tonight. Patrick Ring has checked in as well. Another channel member. Awesome. AC is right. You got to go to St. Amira to pick up the rest of the mask order. Say hi to Connell for us. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. You got to expect that. Jimmy Gravely is here. I like that name. Maybe we get a trailer this week. Hey, that would be awesome. Unfiltered Matt, David says. Yeah, Jimmy, it would be awesome to get a trailer this week. I don't know, though. Like I said last week, I would have said for sure that last week we were going to get a trailer, or the previous week. I would have definitely thought that. But when it didn't happen last week, I don't know. I'm not so sure now. You know, I mean, those TV spots are coming out, and that's something else. You know, I mean, again, it's all HNs tonight. It's Unfiltered Matt, as David just said. So I'm going to put this out there. I haven't seen a TV spot on TV yet. I've seen a few of these spots online on unofficial channels. We talked about the one last week. But have any of you actually seen any of these TV spots on network TV? I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of network TV these days. It's mostly, I mean, I watch stuff on my TV constantly, but it's mostly streaming or, you know, good old physical media or whatever. But, you know, I don't watch, and I've heard a lot of talk about maybe it would air during football, or it has aired during football, and I haven't watched an NFL game in a couple of years, to be honest. So, again, you know, if you guys have seen it, chime in and let me know if you've actually seen any of these spots as you're watching and what you were watching when you saw it. I'd love to hear that. All right, David right away has seen 3 spots on TV. Excellent. Halloween Vibes did see a TV spot before he went to work today. And Vibes, thank you for being here. Shout out to you. Shout out to Josh, Halloween Vibes. Shout out to our buddy Derek. You know, these are people that we connected with at Haunted Screams Expo this weekend. And it's always amazing connecting with people that we know through the channel, through these events, and also meeting new friends, people that we have never met before. And as has been the way through all of our kind of summer tour of conventions, these last 3 conventions over like 2.5 months, a lot of you have done exactly what I asked, which was amazing. And you've come up and you've said, hey, I watch your channel. Hey, I appreciate what you do. Hey, I love Michael Myers Monday, or, you know, whatever. And just letting us know. And, you know, I get emotional talking about it because it does mean so much and it's awesome. So thank you guys. And I've got to plug before we go into the rest of tonight's Michael Myers stuff. And this does tie in a little bit. I've got to plug Haunted Screams Expo here. We just got home today. Like I said, it's only a 2-day convention, Saturday and Sunday. And this was their 3rd one. Should have been their 4th, but, you know, 2020, it didn't happen. But, excuse me. I got to, again, just plug Haunted Screams. Thank them for putting on such an amazing show, for having us there. We had a huge presence there. We were, excuse me, getting choked up. We had a huge presence there. We were given pretty much unlimited access, which, you know, doesn't happen at every convention. So huge shout out to the creators and the promoters and the brains behind Haunted Screams Expo. This year, we've been to all 3 of them from the beginning, supporters of this convention in Hampton, Virginia from the beginning, and this was by far their best year. You know, they keep getting better. And I heard that from many of the people we talked to, attendees. I heard it from our vendor friends that we know, and some new ones that we met. And I heard it from the celebrity guests as well. So it was a really amazing time. And again, you know, shout out to Josh, shout out to Derek, some of our regular Michael Myers Monday viewers who were awesome to us and came up. And this isn't the first time we've connected with them face to face, but it's always great and always exciting and always fun. And to many of our new friends who we connected with there and met them for the first time, or to those of you that said that you watched the channel and you know, came up and made that known specifically to you guys. Again, that means everything. So I really appreciate it. And again, thank you for being here. Look for Haunted Screams Expo next year, Hampton, Virginia. I can tell you, I can't confirm the dates tonight, but it's gonna happen, and they're gonna be back. So find out more about them at hauntedscreams.com, or better yet, just keep watching here, the HDN channel. Subscribe to HalloweenDailyNews.com. Subscribe to this channel, and we'll have all the updates for you, because we'll definitely be back as long as they'll have us. All right, back over on the live chat here for just a minute. Andromeda is getting out of work right now. We'll be in the car in a few minutes. We'll be listening, but can't comment. I know that's often the way for Andromeda, but I so appreciate you guys joining and being a part of this. It means everything. Phil saw the TV spot with Lori talking about This Time Will Be Different. See, I don't think I've watched that one yet. Again, I'm trying not to watch everything. I would love to see some of these in real time. But again, I don't watch a lot of network TV, and especially lately, I haven't watched just a lot of TV in general. And when I do, it's usually streaming stuff. You know, if I'm paying for the premium service, I feel like I gotta be watching it constantly, right? Get my money's worth. Dude says TV spots have already shown far too much. I'll skip the next trailers and TV spots. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, and that's why I'm not really trying to necessarily watch every single thing. Jamie Gravely says, looks like Allison will be dating Corey and Halloween Ends. I kind of was thinking that might be the case, and I don't know, we don't know for sure, but, we've seen a few photos, and that seem to suggest that anyway. And one more thing about Haunted Screams Expo, I just want to say, and then we'll get back into the HN stuff. Actually, two more things. One thing is, shout out to Latrim to Soul. For those of you that don't know, Latrim to Soul is a demon, but he's a friendly demon. And he's the host of the event. And that's one of the things that makes this particular horror convention a little bit unique, is they do have this host who is a cosplay character. And he's, spoiler alert, but he's actually created by a very talented man of many talents named David Taylor, our friend. And he is the main promoter and kind of the originator of the Haunted Screams Expo itself. So it's very unique in that way. And he really puts a lot of himself, as you can imagine, into the event. And so again, huge shout out to Latrim and David and to Tony and to everybody behind the scenes at that event. Again, it's a young event. It's kind of an underdog event in some ways, and it's new to the area. We talked to a lot of people that were kind of local to that area of Virginia who had never ever attended an event quite like that. So it is serving its purpose. It's reaching a new market, which is awesome. Again, look for lots of coverage from that coming, including some exclusive interviews. As always, we've got unparalleled access and coverage of the costume contest, as well as the makeup contest, which was judged by some of Hollywood's best horror makeup effects artists, Gary J. Tunnicliffe and Mike J. Reagan. And we've got exclusive interviews with the winners of each of those contests. I've also got some exclusive interviews that I did with the owners of some of the screen-used props, as well as replicas that were on display there. And among these was the screen-used Creepers truck from Jeepers Creepers, the screen-used Goblin head that you will recognize from the film Maximum Overdrive, and a replica of the Dragula. And specifically the Dragula, not just from the Monsters TV series, but from the feature film Monster Go Home. And we've got interviews with each of those gentlemen from Haunted Screams Expo coming as well. And of course, our walkthrough footage, cosplay highlights, all that good stuff. So you're going to want to look for all of that coming in the next few days and over the next couple of weeks as we start rolling out that coverage. It's going to take a few days to sort through all of our footage and our photos, as you can imagine. Let's see. JL says, what's going on, Matt? Well, having a blast, living the dream, talking HNs with you guys, and just kind of defragging a little bit. This is kind of a way for me to unwind and defrag, believe it or not, with you guys, because like I said, we had a whirlwind weekend up in Virginia. We left Friday. You got a one-day Friday setup. If you were following along on our IG stories, I know I'm talking a lot about HUD screens, but we just got home. I was doing like some behind the scenes stuff, and I'll probably edit it all together into a video and release it here on YouTube. And it's just some behind the scenes stuff of just us, the stuff that you don't see in our produced videos from these conventions, just some behind the scenes stuff, or us setting up what it looks like with all of our stuff just sitting there in boxes, whatever, stuff that most of you probably don't care about, but I just figured it might be fun just to kind of show that side of it a little bit. And if that's something you liked on our IG stories and saw, then let me know. But if not, just stay tuned, because again, I plan to kind of edit that into a little thing that we'll release here on the channel as well. Check it out if you have time, and let me know if you want to see more stuff like that, because that was just something we kind of did off the cuff, and will be released in addition to everything else. David says, it's been reported that the HN's 4K will be released December 26th, tentatively. I haven't heard that, but that sounds possible. What did they do last year? It was the HK was released right before Christmas, right? Because Universal actually sent us a mystery box, and it had an HK mask, and it had a code for the digital. I think that's what it was that they sent us. Is that right? Now I'm forgetting. But yeah, it was in December. It was a holiday box. That's right. You remember it was like a black Santa hat that said HNs on it. Yes, and that was definitely right before Christmas of last year. So a digital release in December I can definitely see. I would think it would probably be in January, like the last two movies were released. But if you're saying it's been reported, I don't know. It could be. David can't wait to see that expo footage. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We got a lot of fun. And the last thing I'll say about the expo before moving on, thank you for reminding me. I keep getting sidetracked here. Again, this is how it ties into Michael Myers Monday. There were some individuals who have worked on this franchise there in attendance. Among them is Brad Loree, who of course played Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection, which celebrates its 20th anniversary, believe it or not, this year. And it was kind of a small Halloween Resurrection reunion in a way, because, like I said earlier, Gary J. Tunnicliffe was there, and he was the special effects makeup supervisor on that film. And, he worked on all of the kills in that film, including, Laurie Strode's death, which Brad filmed and talked about. And he was there, as well as Mike J. Reagan, who also worked on Gary's team on that film. So it was pretty cool to have all three of them there. They didn't get on stage together and do a resurrection panel like I would have loved, but they did, of course, both go on stage on separate panels. And by the way, we will have exclusive coverage of all of the Q&A panels that took place. Again, we were provided unparalleled access to this event because, well, quite frankly, because Haunted Screams rocks, and they know what we bring to the table, what HDN brings to the table, and we love them for that. But there were some awesome panels, and Gary and Mike were up there specifically for a Hellraiser panel, because those guys worked on most of the Hellraiser movies, and Gary actually directed Hellraiser Judgment, and he acted in Hellraiser Judgment as well. He played the Auditor. Very entertaining panel. You're going to love it. They're joined in that panel by Paul Taylor, who played Pinhead in that film. It's a fun one. But there was another panel, a horror killers panel, basically a slasher panel. It featured Andrew Bernarski, who from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03 and its prequel, And it also featured in the center right there, that is Brad Loree. And to Brad's right and to our left in the frame there, that is Lyndon Porco. He actually was the live action body double for Chucky in the film Cult of Chucky, one of my favorite Chucky movies. He also played the Leprechaun in Leprechaun Returns. Of course, on the right there, on Brad's left, that is Andrew Bernarski. He, like I said, played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03 and its prequel. And in the center there, that is Brad Loree, Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection, and of course he's done stunts on numerous other notable films throughout his career. But this is one of the many photos and moments that we captured from the weekend. Those three guys having a good laugh during their panel on stage at Haunted Screams Expo 2022. So good times had by all there for sure. You're definitely going to want to check it out, those of you. And it looks like our next convention appearance most likely is going to be in February at the recently announced Mad Monster Party 2023, February 17th, 18th, and 19th. And today, they just announced their first guest, which is the great Robert Englund. So there you go. We'll see you there. Yes, Jenny reminding us that Andrew was also in Batman Returns. Very true. Yeah, he's been in a lot of things. Yes, I was just noting his Leatherface role, but you're right. Ariel has checked in. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Rob says, hey, all the Fright Rags mini massive shipped, and I got mine today. Was surprised how fast they came. Ordered t-shirts that are going to be here at end of the week. T-shirts took longer. Crazy. It is crazy that those shirts took longer. I've seen those masks. Actually, during shoutouts, I'm going to share an image that somebody shared of their masks that arrived today, too, I guess. They look amazing, and I'm jealous that I haven't ordered any yet. Vibe says that was a great panel. It was a fun panel. Yeah, it was cool. A lot of good panels there. And again, we got tons of coverage of all of those coming, including that Hellraiser reunion and lots more. Pika says, I'll be at the Jamie Lee panel in October, NYCC. Yes. Well, since you brought it up, Pika, I'll go ahead and make that the next story we'll go ahead and get into. Just to go back on that 4K, David says, make it pushed to January 23rd. That sounds like a more real release date for me. And I don't know what day of the week it is. You know, physical media is usually released on Tuesdays, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Blu-rays and stuff. So, and we did hear that the soundtrack, the physical soundtrack, is going to be released, what did they say, January 20th, I think? Again, brain is mush, sorry. All right, so Pika is going to be in attendance at New York Comic Con. Let's talk about this for just a minute, because this is a pretty cool story that I saw break a few days ago that we haven't talked about here. But New York Comic Con has announced its schedule for 2022, and it includes a special event that will pay tribute to Jamie Lee Curtis. And it's going to be moderated by Drew Barrymore. And this event is happening in just a couple of weeks. Pika, remind us what the date is. But it sounds pretty awesome because when it was first announced and it said Drew Barrymore was moderating, I was like, well, that's awesome. But that's kind of a weird pairing. But then, you think of Drew and Scream. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis's first appearance as Laurie Strode back in '78, and then it starts to make a little more sense. But I was starting to think about it. I don't know that can think of seeing those two like basically in the same room in the same frame ever. Am I forgetting something? But that sounds really awesome, and yeah, I can expect that we're gonna get some interesting comments from Jamie coming out of that event at New York Comic Con. October 9th. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Or it might be the 8th. Whichever one is a Saturday. Well, I can confirm that right now. Let's just make sure we got it right because well, the first is a Saturday and the 8th is a Saturday. So there you go. Saturday, October 8th. That is when that tribute to Jamie Lee Curtis, moderated by Drew Barrymore, is happening at New York Comic Con. And coming so close to the release of Halloween Ends, it should be very interesting to see what comes out of that. Again, that's going to be less than a week away from release at that point. So, speaking of which, we are now only got 3 more Mondays after tonight until the release of the film. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. Coco in the house. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thank you for being here. Yes, not too many, like I just said, not too many at all. Jenny says, Scream Queens. Yes, they are. I mean, Drew is a legend no matter what. And but yeah, that opening scene in Scream, not to get off track, but I'm probably going to get off track a few times tonight, because, again. But that opening scene, I love the original Scream. Regular viewers know this. That opening scene in particular in the original Scream, that should be, if it's not already, it should be taught in film school as like a perfect example of a scene, of a suspense scene, of a horror scene. How it goes from, fun and playful and like, oh, this is funny, to by the end where it is so brutal and epically tragic. It is just beautiful in the most horrific way. It's a perfect scene. And of course she's perfect in it. So yeah, I mean, much like Jamie in the original '78, how everything came together and created this perfect. So I can't wait to. I mean, I hope they put that panel online. I can't wait to see it. Coco says it's so exciting, but also sad at the same time that about Ends. Pika says, hopefully they'll show a glimpse of the movie there. I wouldn't be surprised if they show like a clip, and maybe that's our first official clip release. Maybe. I don't know. Real quick, this wasn't even on the schedule, but did you guys see the when Jamie Lee Curtis appeared at D23 the other weekend, and to officially announce that she's playing Madame Leota in Disney's Haunted Mansion movie? Their new Haunted Mansion movie that's coming out. I guess it's coming out next year. I don't know if they've set a date for it. But it was pretty cool. She came out in a dune buggy. She turned around. It was a pretty awesome moment. Fangoria put it on their YouTube channel. Go check it out over there. It's awesome. Pika says Naomi Campbell was the queen of Scream. I don't know about that. The queen of the Scream franchise. Yeah, what you said. That's it. Okay, Vibes clarified it's March 2023. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. That's funny because at Disney World right now. Coco meant sad as in the trilogy is ending. Yes. At least as far as we know. Yeah, I do think it'll be the proper end to this trilogy, and I'm ready for that. But again, horror franchises do have a long history of final chapters and final nightmares that aren't necessarily all that final, so you never know. Never say never, but yeah, it is a bit bittersweet, but that's why, again, what we're doing tonight and what we're going to be doing for the next 4 weeks as we approach the release of Halloween is we are going to be celebrating this. Like I've been saying for the last year, we have to soak this in and live in this moment, guys, because it's going to be just a little while. It's going to be a couple minutes until we get another live-action Halloween movie. Probably. I mean, they might shock us all on November 1st, say, hey, Halloween doesn't end, new movie next year. It's possible. Anything's possible, right? But by all accounts, most likely, we're going to have a little break here for a little while. And we don't know how that while will be. So, as I've said all year, we've got to enjoy this. And now we are into it. We are into it. 3 more Mondays after tonight. And then the movie is here. It is crazy. So, we're going to enjoy this. We're going to celebrate it. We're not going to be looking for spoilers. We're not going to be talking about spoilers. We're not going to be obsessing over, is it Michael? Is it Corey? Is it another imposter? We're going to look at these images here, a couple of these images that have been released in recent days, a couple of these comments, and we're going to enjoy this celebration of this upcoming movie. And because, again, we have to, as fans, embrace this and cherish this, because this is a special time. We haven't had 3 movies in a row in this franchise, ever. It never happened before. So that alone is historic for this franchise. Much less 3 movies in a row in a 4-year time span. It's unbelievable. It would have been a 3-year time span. But again, events out of anybody's control. But so we're going to live in this moment, and we are going to celebrate this franchise, Michael Myers, every Monday here. Again, God willing and health willing and all that stuff. Yeah, I plan to be here every Monday up until the release of the film and beyond, of course. But, and other nights as well. We'll do other live streams other than just Michael Myers Monday. But we're not scheduled to be out of town as of right now. And if everything works out as planned, we'll be here for the next 3 Mondays until the release of that movie. It is going to be insane, guys. And one more thing I just gotta say, not Michael Myers related, but I'm super stoked, and I usually don't talk about things before they happen, but this isn't an interview, this is different. I know a lot of you guys are stoked. We're almost to Tuesday for Terrifier 2. Happy Terrifier Tuesday early. Just got confirmation, going to be getting an advance screener for that one, so I'm going to have a review up for that very soon, probably just ahead of its release. Very excited for that one as well. All right, back to Michael Myers Monday. Vibe says, this is 40 plus years in the making. That's right. Hell yes. Pika says, we witnessed history, cherish it. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. This has been historic. And again, I see these headlines on other YouTube channels sometimes. I see these other websites and just people. I see comments on YouTube. We get comments sometimes of people saying things like, I'm not going to get on a rant, I promise, but we do see these, I read them, when people are like, just end it already, I can't wait till it's over, good, this one's going to be trash, just like the last two, stuff like that, and I'm just like, that's okay if you feel that way, but I always question what makes people take time out of their life that they feel that way so strongly that they want to express it and make the world see it in a public comment. I mean, again, whatever. That's fine. These movies aren't for everybody. Just like, all the movies in this franchise, any franchise aren't for everybody. But if you're a fan of this stuff and you're not cherishing and realizing what a special time this is, just to have these movies, and okay, if you don't like every single thing about them, great, but come on, you can't argue with the soundtracks. You can't argue with James Jude Courtney. You can't argue. I mean, you can't argue with those flashback sequences in HK. I mean, come on, you can't argue with how they brought Loomis back. Could any of us have imagined Loomis? That was sacrilegious before they did it, and they knocked it out the park.
but people are still going to bitch. So anyway, I'm done with that. Yeah, cherish it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Cherish it. Enjoy it. David's got his ticket for Terrifier 2. I love it. Hell yes. Coco says, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, again, everybody's welcome to their opinion, but like I say, fandom, what I do anyway, is, yeah, if there's something you don't like, it's not like you can't acknowledge it, but I'm not going to sit here and harp on it every night and go over it over and over. I'm going to harp on and embrace and celebrate things I love about things I love. And I love this franchise above all the others. And I love these movies, even the ones that aren't my top 2 or 3 in the franchise. I still love them more than most the movies and most of the other horror franchises, to be honest. You know, because Michael's my favorite. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, you know. So, anyway, I'm not going to do that anymore. Tim says they're just haters. Right. Yeah, there's just, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, hell yeah, it was. All right. Like I said, there's a lot of Halloween Ends stuff dropping constantly. And a lot of that has come from that Total Film article that Total Film issue that is now out. I mean, we talked about last night a lot of the quotes from the interviews with David Gordon Green, with Jamie Lee Curtis, James Jude Courtney, and Andy Matichak. And we looked at a number of the photos that have been officially released from that gorgeous cover story about Halloween Ends on the newest issue of Total Film magazine. Well, since last week, the magazine itself has been officially released, and with it, a digital version. And with that, you know, you can buy the digital version online, and a lot of people have, and as a result, a lot of these photos have now been downloaded and shared online. So, tonight, we're going to take a look at a couple of those. Again, I'm not even going to pretend to try to get into everything that's been released in the last week. There's also been a lot of behind-the-scenes footage released as well, some in still photo form, and some video interviews as well. And these interviews were clearly recorded on set for the use of, featurettes on the bonus features of the Blu-ray release, and probably even some of them right ahead of the release of the film itself, very likely. But they're surfacing on these random channels, and again, maybe if any of you guys even know where they originated, clue me in, because we've got we can go to the Universal Press Media portal online. We've got access to that, and we can see the official stuff. And this stuff's not up there yet. Last time I checked, again, I was out of town over the weekend, but it's been up for a few days now. So if any of you know, clue me in where this stuff is coming from. Again, I'm not going to play that stuff tonight. We're not going to get into all that, but before we look at the photos, I do want to look at, real quickly, just a couple of these new comments, specifically from Jamie Lee Curtis within this magazine. And this is in addition to the comments that we already discussed last week. But this is some more of the interview that Total Film did with Jamie Lee Curtis. And these recent comments... well, actually, before we even look at that, let's talk about these comments, these other comments that surfaced in one of those video interviews. And again, I'll say spoiler warning. I don't think this is spoilery, and I don't think it's gonna, but she does discuss the opening scene a little bit. And I'm not going to go into detail on everything she says, but we're going to look at these quotes that Bloody Disgusting pulled from this one video before we look at these new photos. And this is very interesting because this ties in to a running theme that we're going to talk about tonight, and that is the homages to 78 that will continue. And I said last week with the needle and with some of these other images, some haters are going to complain, oh, it's actually too much referencing, too many Easter eggs. And I'm just, what are you talking about? That's, that's part of what I'm watching this for, is that type of stuff. So, but again, as always, if you don't want to know anything, you might want to mute right now for a few minutes. You might want to look away, open another tab just for a few minutes during these quotes. But this comes to us from Bloody Disgusting, and interestingly, I'm seeing only now that video that they shared has been removed. Like I said, this has not been officially released. But this is just a little bit about where Laurie is on the onset of this movie. And as we kind of were thinking, we saw some of those early images of her on set that were released and shared by Jamie Lee Curtis in some cases, and Laurie appeared to be a little happier than certainly when we met her in 2018. And we're all like, how did that happen? Well, it sounds like we're not imagining things, that is the case. And, that official synopsis released with the trailer kind of suggested that. But let's look at these quotes here that Bloody Disgusting thankfully transcribed for us from one of these new behind-the-scenes video interviews. Jamie Lee Curtis says about Halloween Ends, quote, "It's a movie about a final reckoning between Laurie and Michael. There's a battle between them, and the irony is that in the 2018 and 2021 movies, were about a woman who was prepared for Michael every day of her life since she was 17 years old. This movie, where she's actually moved on. This is a movie where she's actually moved on. Laurie doesn't see Michael coming. And that's a very different result. So the fight with Michael is much more violent, unexpected, and has to be like a street brawl. This movie, this other character comes in that she's concerned about, but she's not thinking about Michael. And then Michael comes back. And so the fight was an unexpected fight," end quote. And she also goes on to tease the opening scene, which I'm not going to go too much into, but in short, she basically hints that the opening scene is going to kind of pay homage to the opening of the original 78 film, which sounds awesome to me. We know from that synopsis, that one sentence about Corey Cunningham, that he is going to be accused of a murder of a child that he was babysitting. That's in that synopsis that was released with the trailer, that one sentence. And a lot of people have obsessed over that, and we've all obsessed over that to an extent. But so it sounds like it's going to pay homage to that, which, again, there can't be too many homages and tributes and Easter eggs for me. So I'm all for that. And to see David Gordon Green kind of recreate that in a new way, I think that sounds exciting. What she talks about with this being a different kind of fight because Laurie doesn't see Michael coming now. Again, all of this sounds very interesting because it took Laurie 40 years and going through the hell of the last two movies to now somehow be able to actually move on in these 4 years. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out and see this different Laurie and how long that even lasts. Speaking of how long it's all going to last, one thing I failed to mention last week when I mentioned what is essentially the premiere screening of Halloween Ends at Beyond Fest on October 11th, it has been revealed, at least according to the Beyond Fest website, that apparently the runtime for Halloween Ends comes in at 120 minutes. If that website is to be believed and trusted and is in fact accurate, that would mean exactly 2 hours runtime for Halloween Ends, which does make it the longest film in the Halloween movie franchise. So there's plenty of screen time there to divvy up. I mean, I personally wondered how much of this movie is going to be this Corey Cunningham story and this character. There's speculation that he's going to be dating Allison. I think, with the age of the actors, what's hinted at in some of these photos inside the soundtrack and inside Total Film, that probably, is a fair assumption to make at this point, even though we don't know that for a fact. But, I've said a while ago that, maybe this character is more of a red herring. Maybe all of this acknowledging ahead of time and pointing towards him as this major new character ahead of time is more of a red herring, and it's not going to be so. I think with a 2-hour runtime, what I'm getting at is I think with this 2-hour runtime, there's going to be plenty of time for David Gordon Green to indulge in this alternate storyline, this new kind of secondary storyline. And rather than being worried about how much this character might take away from our characters, again, I'm going to be excited that we are getting a brand new character that was not introduced in these previous films. Whereas the previous films, 2018 is very much Laurie's movie, and Kills is very much Michael's movie, and also very much the homage to those other 78 characters, bringing back those iconic legacy characters and actors in 78. And whereas this one, David Gordon Green did say, very early on that this was going to be a smaller, more intimate, and I would say more personal film probably for him. And Corey Cunningham, as many of you have very rightly and correctly pointed out, even his name is a reference to Christine, the Stephen King novel, the John Carpenter movie, which David Gordon Green acknowledged even before filming started on Ends that it was inspired and influenced partly by Carpenter's adaptation of Stephen King's Christine. So it's not a huge leap, to see this Corey Cunningham character somewhat as the Arnie Cunningham character in that film. In any case, a 2-hour runtime. Our trilogy comes to a close with literally the biggest movie this franchise has ever put out. Again, reason to celebrate. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Right? All right, let me know what you think about those new comments from Jamie Lee Curtis about this new version of Laurie that has, as we talked about last week in the comments from Total Film last week, she has she's done the work, she says, and has healed somewhat, whereas Allison has not quite, So let me know what you think about these comments, and do you think this opening scene is what I'm thinking? Byron is asking if I heard what Andy said about her character, Allison, in Halloween Ends. If you mean the behind-the-scenes video interviews, I think I've watched most of those, if not all of those, if that's what you mean. If it's another interview, then no, I don't think I have heard that. So feel free to share in the live chat right now. Pika says, I want to thank Carpenter for doing the music. Well, again, I say every week we don't talk enough about Carpenter's soundtrack. We did get that soundtrack release we wanted last week. It's amazing. Yeah. Right off the bat, with this trilogy, I don't think anybody is arguing with the soundtracks. Say what you want about the storylines, about the whatever. There's so much they got right with this. So much. The cinematography is the closest to Dean Cundy's cinematography in 78 of any of the movies. Am I lying? Am I wrong? Come on. You cannot argue that, that long tracking shot in 2018 when don't get me started. But the soundtrack, yes. The soundtrack. And the fact that they got Carpenter at the right time, I think. If Rob Zombie had asked him to do the soundtrack, I don't know that he would have said yes in 2007. It would have been amazing in an entirely different movie experience had that conversation ever taken place. Not that Rob would even think to ask him, but my point is, I don't know that any of the other directors of any of the other films, had they approached John Carpenter and said, would you compose a new score for our film? I don't think he would have said yes at that point in his life and career. Until 2018. It was the perfect time. So, yeah, hell yes. Yeah, can't argue with that one bit. Vibes hates Halloween 3. Dude says, I hear there's a flashback to H6 in ends. I have not heard that, and I would be shocked if that's the case. But wouldn't that be wild? That would be insane. But yeah, no, I don't think that'll be reality. But hey, bring it on. They said it was going to shock us, right? It's going to be a little different. That'd be a little different. That'd be a little different. Byron says, what if at one point in the film Allison has to choose between Corey Cunningham and Laurie Strode? Kind of like Spider-Man having to choose between saving all the people or saving the love of his life, something like that. I don't know. Who would she choose? She'd have to choose Laurie, right? Byron says, it'd be so cool to hear a Silver Shamrock theme song in ends. Yes. I'm going to say we better hear a Silver Shamrock theme song in ends. Come on. Come on. I've been saying that all along. Ben Tramer, and I want to see Ben Tramer in the flesh and hear the Silver Shamrock song in ends. Those are my requests / predictions. All right. So a couple of the images that we're going to talk about tonight have been shared by the great Jamie Lee Curtis herself, because she is sharing Halloween imagery and content literally every day leading up to the release of the film, and I expect that to continue as most of the cast members and are prone to do and are going to do. Now, here's an interesting shot that she shared a couple of days ago on Instagram, and I point this out. I mean, we kind of saw this in the trailer, and I believe there is a TV spot with everybody screaming, mostly footage that we've seen in the trailer that has this again. Now, one of two things is happening here. Because there's that wallpaper again. There's that stairwell. We saw Michael on the stairwell with that same wallpaper in the total film photos that were released. We've seen shots of this. So either a whole lot of this movie is going to take place in this house around this epic confrontation between Laurie and Michael. Or again, this is all quite misleading. And this could be not the epic battle that we think. This could be not even necessarily actual stills of the film. I wonder, I've talked about this a little bit before in weeks past, and I still kind of wonder a little bit, because so much of what we see in the trailer regarding Michael and Laurie specifically, and so much of these images that are being released officially or even surfacing unofficially, all are kind of around this same sequence. And it appears. So, and some of these images are clearly photos, are clearly publicity photos, of James and Jamie or whatever posing on set for the set photographer for the purpose of these articles and these promotional events. And that's normal. That's happened for all the films. And some, I do believe, are actual stills. But I question and I wonder aloud to you, how many of these are actually publicity stills versus actual stills from the film. In any case, here she is, the final girl, as she likes to say, the Scream Queen, screaming, doing exactly what we want to see her do. And just a little bit of stairwell there. It's amazing, but just a staircase evokes Michael Myers to most of us. Doesn't it to you? It does to me. Anyway, in the text to this photo from 2 days ago, Jamie says, the movie is intense, the movie is emotional, the movie is terrifying, the movie is Halloween Ends. And then just yesterday, she shared this new image. Now, this one, quite notably, does not have that same wallpaper we've seen in a lot of these images we've looked at, and a lot of that Michael versus Laurie footage from the trailer. This appears to be maybe in a different location, at least a different room. Let's say that. I do like the detail of a couple pumpkins in the background. Jamie's asking, what has she seen? So I think the question here is what's going on in this scene. I'll leave it to you guys to speculate what you think. I've got some ideas of what she might be looking at right there. Again, we could go back to that official synopsis and that one key sentence about that new character, and maybe she's learning about that event. And this is her reaction. Or maybe she learns that Michael Myers is back. Obviously, this accusation, which ties in Corey Cunningham, not Hunningham. It's getting late. Corey Cunningham. In any case, what is happening here? Give me your thoughts. And even more recently than that, just earlier today on Michael Myers Monday, she shared a cool behind-the-scenes photo here of director David Gordon Green sitting in the back seat of a Warren County Sheriff's Department vehicle. And Jamie says in the caption to this photo, behind the scenes of Halloween Ends, sometimes when your director has you working very late at night and asks you to do physical, emotional, technical gymnastics over and over and over again, you just wish the police would come and take him away. For one brief second at 4:30 in the morning, my wish came true. Hashtag David Gordon Green. And there's tons of other photos that have been coming out, too, from inside that Total Film magazine. And we'll go over to Sean Clark's Instagram for this one. This is a badass image that I think Sean might have been the first one to share a few days ago. But, man, this is a wicked awesome image of Michael Myers. Look at that blade gleaming red. The mask, of course, lit impeccably here. But again, this is not a still from the film. I don't think. I mean, this is very clearly, to me, a publicity photo, a wicked, badass publicity photo shot during the filming. And it might be a still. I might be wrong. But, I mean, this looks like a perfectly framed photo on set of James in character in the moment. I mean, maybe it's not, but I mean that plain black background. Of course, maybe they've pulled him from what the actual background in the film is. Give me your thoughts below. Again, the more we see these photos, and the last week there's been a lot coming out, the more I kind of wonder what's what here. And if they are publicity photos, then that makes perfect sense, and that's kind of better, I think. But what do you guys think? Here's another one that's been shared around, but I think, again, Sean was probably one of the first to share it, at least on my feed. Here's Alice, what appears to be, anyway, Allison. You can't see her face, but I'm guessing that's Allison at Lori's door, and Lori looking kind of beat up, suspicious, and not too happy. So all that peace and moving on and healing that Jamie's talking about, I'm guessing this comes a little bit later in the film. Or again, this is a staged photo to throw everybody off and suggest things that may or may not even be in this film. What do you guys think? And among that behind the scenes interview footage that it keeps popping up on YouTube, and it's stuff that was filmed, I'm sure, for upcoming bonus features on upcoming home video releases and what have you. But one bit that I'm pretty sure came from that. Or it might be from the total film. But in any case, we have to talk about this image. I absolutely love this. Fans know what I'm talking about here. And we'll take a look at the comparison that has been shared on social media in just a second. But here's our final girls, if you will, our leading ladies in this film. Allison and Lindsay on each side of Lori. Lori with a big smile and apron, holding a pumpkin. And if that pumpkin looks a little familiar, well, that's because it absolutely should look familiar. I think fans of the 78 film know what they're referencing here. I think you guys know what they're referencing. Let me pull it up here for you, in case you need to remember. And I don't know who was the actual first to put these two together, but this is pretty amazing. This is one of those moments, like having Nick Castle recreate some of those publicity stills on the set of the 2018 film, recreating those iconic stills that he posed for in 78. I love this. I even love, I mean, not only is the pumpkin incredibly exact, like the last one. I mean, it's not exactly exact, but it's, I mean, the mouth, all of it is carved just right. No, Lori looks even happier in this photo, in this 2022, than she did then, if that's possible. And while Allison doesn't look quite as miserable as Brian Andrews does as Tommy there in that 78 photo, I'd say that Kyle Richards completely captures the exact face emotion, even the angle that her head is tilted that she has in that 78 photo. So if they didn't pull out that 78 photo to recreate this moment, then, you know, of course they did. They absolutely did. So again, haters are going to say this is too much fan service or whatever, but that makes no sense to me. This is beautiful. This is awesome. And again, who knows if this is even an actual moment from the film, but just the fact that they took the moment to capture this is great. Yeah, it feels like we are going to get just a little taste of this Lori 44 years later, harkening back, maybe for the first time since 78, to her pre-78 self. At least that's what Jamie Lee Curtis is suggesting in those comments that we discussed last week. And some of these photos are suggesting that as well. And then, of course, there's this wicked image from that Total Film magazine article. And I made this the thumbnail for this week's Michael Myers Monday Live because I just love this image. And I know, you know, we can debate all day. Is this really the shape? Is it Michael Myers behind there? Is it an imposter? Is it somebody? Like I said last week, from here on out, we are looking at this as this is being presented to us as Michael Myers. It looks like the shape. It feels like, yeah, that's what we're going to go on right now. So this image of Michael Myers is just so badass. I mean, it's not unlike the Total Film image that kind of was one of our very first images of HK last year, where it featured the knife so big and prominently. But, this is just one of those shots, the knife up in the foreground looking literally larger than life. But that weathered, worn, decayed mask clearly in focus. The eyes blacker than ever. I love this image. But let me know what you think about all of these brand new Halloween Ends images. Again, I'm not even going to get into the video right now. I'm not even going to go into all of the images because there are so many cool ones coming out. There's one more, though, that I just want to look at because it is another just wicked cool image that I've got to share. I was going to save this one for shoutouts, but we're going to go ahead and give Hooked on Horror this shout out right now. They're counting down 25 more days till the release of the movie. 24, actually, I think, as of today. But I love this shot from that Total Film magazine. Or this might be from that behind the scenes video because I did see a little bit where they were filming something like this. But I think this is an actual still from that magazine. This house should look familiar to regular viewers. This is what I'm calling the Red House in Savannah, Georgia, that we visited before anybody else did, and took some photos. It didn't look quite like this. It wasn't decorated yet. They hadn't actually started shooting exteriors at this house yet, but we were there on location. You can find that video elsewhere on this channel. But man, what a creepy shot. And again, a glorious homage to the 78 film and just classic shape stalking. I really like this image, and I like the composition. I like the look of it. All right, let's go back over here to the live chat here for just a minute. Let's see here. T. Christine. I believe that's one of our new friends from Haunted Screams Expo. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Welcome, welcome, and happy Michael Myers Monday. It was great meeting you guys over the weekend. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Let's stroll back up to just a minute and see some of these comments I might have missed on some of these photos. Dude says that last photo is one of his favorites. Low-key lighting, beautiful old school. Yeah, it feels like that 78 Dean Cundy lighting and cinematography. Devin says that knife has tetanitis written all over it. Dude says the image evokes H4 gas station garage kill. I like that. Yeah, kind of the looking up angle. Patrick says great images. Have to pick up that Total Film magazine. Me too. I got to get a physical copy. I could buy the digital one now, but I want to get the physical one. And I actually did stop at a Barnes & Noble today. That was one of our stops on the way home from the convention, and they didn't have it. They did not have it in that Barnes & Noble, so the hunt continues. But yes, Patrick, of course, maybe the ultimate Michael Myers collector. One of them, certainly. Yeah, I know you're going to own that, but I got the HK one, the physical copy last year, so I'm going to have to find that HNs. Let's see here. Rob says the one where Laurie opens the door and the look on her face, it looks like it's over. Interesting. Y'all like the rusty knife. Coco says Anne Lindsay is wearing not the pigtails, but yes, she's wearing plaid again. Very true. Yeah, we could go back to that, and you're absolutely right. Yeah, she's wearing plaid again. Laurie's wearing the apron again. I mean, yeah, there's just so much I love about moments like this. So when I hear people say that moments like this, like they're doing too much of this, oh, sorry for that crappy crop, but when I hear people say that they're doing too many moments like this, I don't agree with that at all. I think moments like this are awesome. And again, I don't even know if this is an actual still. I put the question out to you. How much of what's coming out in this Total Film, I mean, for reference, let's go back to the Total Film magazine with the HK cover story released last year. If you'll remember, there's a few images in there that aren't exactly stills from the film either, and are barely, if at all, featured in the movie at all. Tell me what you think about that. If you remember, you can refer back. You can go back to our breakdown of the digital issue of that last year around this time, and you know, there were some things just like we're saying here, but I think even more so here. I mean, we've heard people like Christopher Nelson say how they consciously tried to keep things a little more secret this time. The fact that they haven't released a second trailer yet, every day that goes by makes me think they may not. I mean, now we're inside 4 weeks before the release of this thing, so it might come this week. It's very possible. We might wake up tomorrow to a release. I'd love it. And again, I'm not planning on being out of town for any length of time from here on out for the rest of the season. So whenever a second trailer or whatever is officially released, plan on joining us live right here, whatever day of the week it happens, because it'll be Michael Myers Day, whatever day that happens. But I'm also not holding my breath, and I'm fine if there's only the one right now, honestly. And if it turns out that a lot of what we've seen in all of these TV spots and in the trailer, even in these photos, is not exactly what makes up the majority of these 2 hours of runtime, then I don't think any of us are going to be complaining very much. That being said, I do hope that some of these references are actually in the film, like this moment. And if they come out and Laurie is like howling at the moon like Tommy is in that scene in the 78 film, then holy shit. But again, when you look at this photo, just to stay on it one more second, this is not the actual still from the film. This, again, is a Kim Gottlieb Walker photo. Kim Gottlieb Walker was the on-set photographer in '78, and she shot many of the iconic photos that we all love. She put out a great book a few years ago called On Set with John Carpenter, and it's many of her amazing photos from many John Carpenter films. But this is a photo. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, they're all posing for her. That is not an actual still, but it was clearly shot while they were filming this scene from the movie. You all know the scene. After they've carved the pumpkin, they're walking out of the kitchen. They're all kind of marching, kind of singing along, and Tommy's kind of howling at the moon. And so, again, if this is a posed photo released as they're filming a similar scene that may come and go within a matter of seconds of this film, hey, I'm totally here for it. But yeah, the plaid that Lindsay is wearing in both shots is amazing. The apron, and of course the detail on that pumpkin, just perfect. Coco loves the pumpkin just like '78. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the fact that they can do that, and that they're taking the time to do that, I just love that stuff. Sorry, unabashedly, but I love that stuff. Bring it on. I mean, it's the attention to detail. Again, not to get off track, but I got to speak to the great Butch Patrick a few minutes again after seeing him at Mad Monster, and saw him again at Haunted Screams Expo. Daniel Roebuck was there, our friend of the brand, if you will. I interviewed him a few years ago. Also interviewed Kim Gottlieb Walker a few years ago. Find all those interviews at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Anyway, we talked briefly about Rob Zombie's The Monsters, and anyway, I'm not going to go into that right now, but I forgot where I was going to go with that. That's another conversation for another night about the monsters. Again, it's after midnight now, brain turning to mush literally before your eyes. Dude says staircase dies tonight. Sorry, I'm still scrolling up for some of your comments. Late to the party, but staircase dies tonight. That might be quote of the night, comment of the night. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who gets comments of the night? A new imaginary award here for Triple M. It might be staircase dies tonight. That's good. That's funny. Of course, now Cameron's death has kind of made staircases even more iconic in this franchise than they already were. I mean, staircases were already kind of iconic. Thanks in large part, again, to still photos from '78, even more so than the actual moments in the film. I mean, of course, there's moments on that staircase, but it's some of those still photos of Nick standing at the top of the stairs, holding them, that we associate so much. And we saw James standing on a stairwell. That stairwell, which apparently Laurie is at the bottom of, and he's doing that pose that Nick did at the top of the stairs in '78. And again, though, I'm just curious, as we're sitting out here, yeah, we could speculate on who's behind the mask and what's happening in plot-wise, but I'm just speculating. Are these actual stills from the movie? I believe that some of them are, but which ones are stills versus actual publicity photos? I mean, some are pretty obviously publicity photos to me, but a lot of them could go either way to me. You guys let me know what you think. David Suber wondering if that's Hawkins' car. Interesting question. Coco was puzzled on that photo. Yeah, Coco agrees that image of Laurie being all shocked, she just found out something big. She found out somebody died, I'm pretty sure. But who? Or maybe, anyway, you guys let me know what you think. I mean, I think something like that, that would be like Laurie's peace and calm that she's supposedly found 4 years later, maybe coming to a crushing in because she's seeing something on the news or because Hawkins or somebody is bringing her some kind of news that she didn't see coming. Or it's another publicity shot meant to just have us speculating like this. In which case, I'd be like, well played, Universal. All right, let me let's see some more comments on these, and then we're gonna do some shout outs. Rob says, "Oh, you guys are talking about those H3 mini masks and shout outs. We're gonna look at those, but they look badass. Those H3 mini masks. As I said earlier, I'm jealous I didn't order mine. Wow, David's got his issue of Total Film coming from the UK. Nice." Let's see. Rob Windsor says that Lori won. Matt, she has the bruises and band-aids. She looks beat up but victorious. Again, I've got a few ideas of what might be happening there, and we don't even know for positive that's Allison, but it certainly looks like that's Allison coming to her door, which is kind of weird because I thought we have heard, it said that they are living together when we catch up with them in this film. So, but that kind of looks like somebody knocking on her door and she's opening like all suspicious. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. What do you guys think though? Says maybe she kicked the shit out of the imposter. Well, I mean, that could be. I mean, when we talk about misdirection, and if there is imposters, what if most of what we're seeing isn't even part of the main story of the movie? I said that last week. That'd be kind of cool, right? What if half that trailer is not even part of the real story of the movie? I wouldn't be mad at that. What do you guys think? Coco agrees with me that at least David Gordon Green and company are paying attention to so many little details. Every time I watch 2018 and HK, it's like I see something new no matter how many times I've seen both. I agree. I mean, there's so many things that they didn't even make a big deal about that I think are such beautiful little touches. I mean, having in HK, the Coupe de Villes be one of the songs on karaoke. The Coupe de Villes, John Carpenter, Nick Castle, Tommy Lee Wallace, their band from the 70s. Having the song that Laurie's singing to herself as Michael's stalking her be an actual 70s era sounding song that they had recorded and used in the 2018 soundtrack. I mean, things like that. PJ Soul's voice as the teacher in 2018. All these little things. I mean, I do not agree or understand when somebody says there's too much of something like that. I mean, that's why I watch it. I watch Star Wars stuff to see how it all wraps around and ties in with all the other Star Wars stuff I've watched. And if you're obsessed with the Marvel MCU and stuff like that, isn't that part of the fun? Is who's going to pop up as a guest star on this series, and how are they going to wrap it around and connect to this larger story, this other story, or what big... I mean, that's a huge part of the fun of these movies, if you ask me, and I think they have done it in these movies in such a fun way, and the Silver Shamrock masks is a huge part of that, which I loved from that very first trailer in 2018, that we, for the first time ever, Laurie Strode and Silver Shamrock sharing the screen in a Halloween movie. What? Worlds colliding, and stuff like that. So yes, give us that jingle, that Silver Shamrock jingle this time, please. All right, back to the live chat for just a minute. Rob says she sure did. Kick-ass book. Yes, Kim Gottlieb Walker picks Kick-ass. Have a few of them. Yes. I mean, she's an amazing photographer. Read my interview with Kim Gottlieb Walker if you haven't already. I should have linked it down below. I'll try to remember and link it down below after we're done here tonight. But when you have a minute, go to HalloweenDailyNews.com, search her name, or just Gottlieb. It'll come right up. It was a few years ago, but man, it was a fun interview. You guys know I'm a photographer too, so getting to talk to her a little bit, her work's iconic from that film, from every set she was on. She was on the Escape from New York set, all that. Awesome book, awesome book. And her photos are the ones that we all know and love so much from Halloween and Halloween 2. Let's see. A dude says Halloween Kai, step first, stand hard. No Lori. That's funny. Protect saves. Oh, shitting on H3. Don't want to bring in Season of the Witch. Okay. Well, it ain't for everybody, but I say give me my Season of the Witch jingle. Come on. That's all I want. And it can be modernized. I mean, we know, well, we're pretty sure we're going to have a radio station, a radio tower play into some kind of significance in this, at least according to David Gordon Green commentary on Halloween Kills, right? So there's going to be commercials on the radio. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to say that as a total missed opportunity. And we should have a commercial for like Phelps Garage while we're at it too. I mean, we saw the flyer on that still of Michael and Lori we talked about last year. You know, stuff like that. Coco says, to be honest, we still have no concrete evidence of who or whom the doppelganger Michael is. Yeah, and honestly, we still have no concrete evidence that there even is one. Yeah, we're obsessing, we're all obsessing over fingers on the door, you know, and things like that. And this line about Corey Cunningham being accused of a killing, and, you know, I mean, that line doesn't say that he's accused of killing the same way Michael does. I mean, maybe he does. It's kind of hinted at. You know, I mean, the fingers on the hand. All I'm saying is things are in trailers all the time that don't make the final theatrical cut of the film. And misdirection is a thing, too. Not so much in this franchise historically, but maybe they're doing something different. But yeah, there is no concrete evidence on who's who. Again, that's why I said I'm not going to obsess in these photos, these badass images we're getting of Michael Myers over, is it really Michael Myers or not? For the time being, it's Michael Myers as far as we know. And if it's not, then whoever it is, damn, they got some good Michael Myers cosplay going on. I mean, right? If it turns out that it's not Michael in half these images, you know, we're going to want those NECA figures too. I got a feeling we're probably going to want those pop figures too. I got a feeling. I mean, am I right, Patrick? I mean, whoever it's going to be, somebody else doing their best Michael cosplay, for lack of a better term. But, I mean, I think we're probably seeing a lot. David says it's Nick Castle. It could be. It could be. Devin says, hopefully this movie will reveal if Michael is supernatural. Well, I don't know what it's going to reveal or not reveal in here, and maybe they say nothing, but what I do know and what I always say, and I've said many times, many Monday nights here, go read my 2016 interview with John Carpenter himself, and I asked him straight up, is Michael Myers a mortal man, psychopath in a mask, or is he a supernatural being? And John's answer to me, and I've said this over and over, and because this is the Bible to me as far as I'm concerned, until he says differently, is he's both. That's the answer. He's both. He is a man, but he is also at the same time simultaneously something else, something more. That's from John Carpenter. That's good enough for me. If they reveal something, hey, you know, a lot of wild theories out there, you know, I mean, a lot of wild theories. Maybe an H6 flashback, as we were joking earlier. But I think a lot of things are left unsaid. And I was happy to hear David Gordon Green say last week that they're not really going to explain where Michael's been for 4 years. Explicitly. You know what I mean? And that's probably all for the better, too. Patrick says, oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Video shop, I see your comment. I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not seeing that one, but that's interesting. What Byron says, what if the Michael Myers mask is a Halloween 3 mask? You mean like made by Silver Shamrock? Hey, I love Silver Shamrock, so I would love that if that's what's revealed. And if that's the only hint at a supernatural confirmation that's revealed, other than Michael, surviving what nobody can survive and all that stuff, I'd be fine with that too. I'd be fine. I think I would. If done rightly, I think I would. But again, I'm a big Silver Shamrock fan, so All right, just a couple more comments, and then we're gonna go. Coco says, seriously, I mean, why has there been no mention of Dr. Mathis at all thus far? Yeah, I kind of forgot that he was going to be in it. Again, maybe he's not even going to have a big role. But what I do find interesting is that here we are, just weeks away from the release of this. And people are going to, see it soon. I mean, people have seen it in test screens, but there's many cast members that we don't even know about quite yet at this stage. I mean, we know Rowan Campbell plays Corey Cunningham. We know our returning cast members, but we don't even have anybody officially confirmed beyond that. I mean, we've uncovered a few, but that's very interesting in itself. That a lot of the people that we see in the trailer, even, and yes, the character of Dr. Mathis that we know or we were led to believe early on is going to play some role in this film, if not a major role. I don't know how major it's going to be. I said before, maybe it's not a huge role. A lot of people have speculated what it could be, but no mention yet. Hey, I think a lot of this is in an effort. I said before, I'm going to choose to believe that Universal is being smart this year and is making a conscious effort to expose us to a small section of this movie and say, okay, this much we'll let them, we'll expose, as opposed to picking out what somebody in the marketing department sees as the images they're going to pull in the widest audience. All that being said, get ready for more spoilers to come out, guys, because as TV spots really start airing, like I said, myself, I don't watch much network TV, so I haven't seen the spots that are airing now, but they will start airing. And like on NBC shows and stuff in the coming weeks, and especially those last 2 weeks before release, they're going to be airing like crazy. And yeah, there will be some spoilery stuff there. So get ready for some of that. But all that, that kind of goes with the territory in those final weeks. You kind of got to just close your ears, censor yourself, and just hope for the best and go in as early as you can on preview night, right? Thursday the 13th. That's when I'm going. Oh, Devin, again, our hearts are with you. I'm glad I could help get your mind off of everything. Again, so sorry to hear about that. Our hearts go out with you and yours, and thank you for joining us. Rest well, please, and again, just thank you so much, and know we're thinking about you. That means a lot. David Suber with the Silver Shamrock, I love it. Lee says, this Thursday it's officially fall. Yes, it is. And this Thursday is also the 10th anniversary of Halloween Daily News. We launched this website, HalloweenDailyNews.com, back on September 22nd, 2012. And what was the very first article ever published? It's a trivia question. I'm going to ask it again on Thursday, and we'll see who knows the answer. The answer is, it was about that year's re-release of John Carpenter's Halloween. And it's been re-released every year since in the theaters. So, 10 years of John Carpenter's Halloween being re-released in theaters, 10 years of HDN. We're going to celebrate it all this coming Thursday, fittingly enough, on the first day of fall, September 22nd. I'll have more details forthcoming, but we are going to be doing a live that evening, and we're going to be having some fun flashback fun. We'll be looking back on some of the more notable events and interviews and things that we've done over the years. And mostly I just want to chat with you guys, and I'll be doing kind of an informal Q&A if you got questions. And be thinking of some of the stuff we've done even going back years ago. Interviews with people like Carpenter. Events we've covered like the 40 Years of Terror, like Flashback Weekend, Mad Monster Party, stuff like that. It's going to be fun. And again, our celebration, I wanted it to culminate this Thursday originally, but it's going to culminate on Halloween week officially because we're really kind of kicking it off this week, kicking it off tonight. This is our official anniversary week. Thursday, we're going to do our official 10th anniversary live stream. But what I am going to invite you guys to do, our official viewers, you guys, our friends, I want you to be a part of an anniversary video we're going to put together. We're going to release it Halloween week. And what you can do to participate is just shoot a quick little cell phone video of yourself, just a few seconds, saying something about Halloween Daily News. You can say like the old MTV, I want my Halloween Daily, You can say how long you've been a subscriber. You can say something about Michael Myers Monday if you want. But the point is, say something about HDN and say, happy birthday, HDN, happy 10th, HDN, and I will include it in the final edit of our 10th anniversary video. Now, that's not going to be dropping on Thursday, like I said. But what we will do on Thursday is we'll take a look back at a couple video highlights of just some notable events from throughout the last 10 years. And again, it's not going to be a super long live stream because obviously we can't go through all 10 years of content we've done here. But things have changed and come a long way from the original website launch in 2012 back on blogger.com. And we've come a long way. This channel's come a long way. And so you guys are a huge part of that. So I look forward to kicking back and partying and celebrating with you this Thursday. And hey, whatever news has broken that day, trust me, we'll be getting into it that night too. If the powers that be see fit to drop a new HN's TV spot or trailer even on that day, the first day of fall, September 22nd, hey, it wouldn't be a bad time for that to happen. And it certainly wouldn't be a bad time and a bad thing for us to do as yet another way to celebrate our 10th anniversary. But if there's absolutely no news to talk about, that's perfectly fine too, because we're going to talk about HDN just a little bit and do just a little patting ourselves on the shoulder because, 10 years it's only a decade. That's all. But, so plan on joining me that night and turn on your notifications in any case because there might be lives before that, depending on what news breaks tomorrow and Wednesday. In any case, lots of exciting stuff coming here this week on the channel. We're just going to be kicking off our coverage from Haunted Screams Expo. Like I said, there's tons coming, so get ready for that. And some other cool surprises coming your way as well. Speaking of surprises, I hope you checked out my unboxing setup, demo, and review of the new 7.5-foot Lava Demon animatronic from Party City. We're really lucky to have Party City reach out to us and actually send us this massive demon who is now residing in our house. And I don't know where I'm going to put him now because he's like really just too big to go anywhere. But he's amazing. He's awesome. So check out that video if you haven't already. All right, it is getting late. We're going on 2 hours now. I can't believe it. I did not think I'd be on this late, but then again, always are. But let me pull up our shout-outs for this evening. You guys know what's up. We created this website back in 2013 after our first year of operation. And it has since grown to take on a life of its own. And so every week, yeah, it's time to be done. So every week we share just a couple social media posts using the Michael Myers Monday hashtag. So first up, we're going to go over to Instagram right now. This is KC Boogeyman at Wild Thing Night. And like I said, this Michael Myers Monday has taken on a life of its own. People create GIFs and memes, but this is a new one. This is a meme I don't remember ever seeing until tonight. So I don't know who created it, but I love it. This is, of course, a still from H2. And there you see Nurse. People trying to enjoy their weekend, and of course the shape represents Monday. Like I said, sometimes people see Mondays as Michael stocking up on their weekend and ending it in a brutal fashion. Other times people see Monday like they're Michael creeping up on the week itself and going to attack it and kill it. It works both ways, and it's awesome both ways. But this is a new one, so thanks for sharing that, Casey Boogeyman, on Twitter. Another one from Twitter, one of our favorite parody accounts, Linda Vanderclock at Totally Linda V, shares this cool animated image of our 3 leading ladies from H78. And of course, the highlight, though, on these parody accounts is the text. Linda here says, forget Devon Graham. Look how many books Lori and Annie have. You guys totally don't need those. Yeah, of course, Linda, she has no need for books. And one more from Twitter this evening. This comes from Echo Sedai at Echo Sedai on Twitter. Says, I think this is the last of my husband's t-shirts that my niece shrank for me, Michael Myers Monday. I just thought that was pretty funny that this fan, Echo, is having her niece apparently shrink her husband's Michael Myers t-shirts so that she can wear them on Michael Myers Monday, so fittingly. And this particular one is from Smith's Grove Sanitarium in, of course, Warren County. Moving over to Instagram now. Speaking of new collectibles, Scott Southworth over on Instagram shared this shot earlier today of a new blind box Michael Myers figure. And I had to ask where he got it. And he responded, you can see here, he answered that he got it off eBay. This is actually a exclusive to Universal Studios gift shops. So very cool. Blind box figure, Universal Studios exclusive. I love the blood tears detail. I might have to find me one of these. You know, I am a sucker for the Myers figures of all sizes and shapes. Also, from Instagram, this one comes from Matt Mortuary. He says, it's almost time, kids. And he says, today celebrating Michael Myers Monday with this super cool set of Halloween 3 mini masks from Fright Rags. Even though Michael Myers didn't exactly appear in Halloween 3, the mask did appear in Halloween Kills, so it still counts. Well, of course it still counts. And yes, now these masks are not only part of their own storyline in H3, they are part of the current storyline. Absolutely. So H3 Silver Shamrock masks are not... Silver Shamrock masks are no longer just H3 now. They are officially H3, H2018, HK, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, they're part of HNs too. They're going to be referenced somehow in HNs. With a jingle. On the radio, probably. In any case, I know Patrick and some of our other collector friends in here, Rob, I believe, have these or have these on the way. These are amazing. Of course, Fright Rags just killing it with the... I mean, they always kill it with the t-shirts, but they kill it with everything when it comes to this franchise. They put out those amazing retro-style action figures. I mean, they've just done so many cool things. But these mini masks are awesome. And I feel silly that I haven't ordered mine. All right, one more from Instagram. And this is yet another meme. We started with one on Twitter. We're going to end with one on Instagram. Real simple. It's Monday. And who's got blood coming from the eyeballs? Happy Michael Myers Monday, says Terrell88 over on Instagram. And to that, we say Happy Michael Myers Monday to you as well. Thank you for sharing. Now, as always, I urge you to use the Michael Myers Monday hashtag every week when you're celebrating this fandom. Just like I urge you to celebrate this fandom now more than ever, because this is a magical time for this franchise, and it is worth celebrating. This is, as you guys have said tonight, 44 years in the making, almost 4.5 decades. This is monumental. This is huge. And expect these photos, these videos, these interviews to keep coming out. Try to censor what you can and avoid spoilers. We're going to do the same. You know, we're trying to avoid spoilers. At the same time, we got to report the news. So it's always walking a line. But, you know, stuff is going to keep coming. The marketing to say it's in high gear, yeah, there's only like one gear higher than this, and that's when those TV spots are airing literally every hour, and that'll be the final week or two, I imagine. So, I'm going to turn over here to the live chat one more time this evening, and then we're going to get out of here. Yes, Byron, thank you for the happy 10-year anniversary. Appreciate that. Summit has checked in. Welcome. Thank you for being here, man. And yeah, I saw your request last week. I saw it a little bit late. I saw Phil's earlier tonight. So let's go ahead and do it now. I see Summit is already asking for it. We need an Are You Ready, Corin Jonathan Davis. Yeah. Sorry to new viewers who don't get the reference, but Summit is one of our longtime viewers. So I missed their request at the end of last week's show. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now so I don't forget. And it's pretty much the end of this week's show. So here we go, guys. Are you ready? Corn fans know the reference, and regular Triple M longtime fans know the reference. Tonight it's Are You Ready for HNs? That is the question. I know some of you are not ready because you are sad. You're feeling the bittersweet emotions, as I am. But Michael will never die. The movies will never stop. It's all going to continue. It's just this storyline is probably going to wrap up, and I'm hoping and expecting it to wrap up in epic, bloody, tragic fashion, as Jamie has said. This is going to find Laurie in an actual peaceful place as opposed to the last films, right before her world comes crashing down and we have a horribly violent, tragic ending. That's what they're promising us anyway. So I can't wait for it. I'm going to be here for it. Thank you, Summit. This Summit loves it. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Yes, David. You guys. Thank you, man. Yep. T. Christine says, I'm not ready for the end of Michael Myers. I know. But again, whatever happens, even when people say that, it'll be one will die, one will, even if they kill Michael Myers, as I said in previous weeks, technically some of these movies have killed Michael Myers before, at least as far as we thought at the time. Some of these movies have done that. Some of these movies have killed Laurie Strode before, whether on screen or off screen. So, the death of both of these characters don't 100% necessarily mean that it's the last time we'll ever see both of these characters. But I think we're pretty assured that it's the last time we're going to see Jamie Lee Curtis in the role of Laurie Strode in one of these movies. And I think it absolutely goes without saying it's the last time we're going to see this franchise in movie theaters for a little while. Little break. Hopefully not as long as the break from Halloween 2009 all the way to Halloween 2018. Hopefully it's not another 9-year break. That was basically a decade-long drought of Michael Myers in theaters. So hopefully it won't be that long, but it's going to be a little while. All that being said, though, Michael Myers Monday Live will not be going anywhere. Count on that. Even though there won't be another movie necessarily on the calendar right away, we're still going to be doing Michael Myers Monday Live. Now, that's not to say that we won't take some breaks, and that's not to say that we are going to be here every single week, but as a plan, as a general rule, we're still going to be here every single week moving forward, reporting on the franchise's news. There won't be as much necessarily, but there's always going to be franchise news. And again, depending on what HNs does, success cures everything. Money changes everything. So whatever today's plans are, on the possibility that HNs comes out and breaks records and is the most successful film in the history of this franchise and the biggest R-rated horror film of 2022 or something crazy like that, anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. I mean, did any of us ever imagine Jamie Lee Curtis would play Laurie Strode again after Resurrection? Again, anything's possible. All right. Someone says freaking out all the newbies here. The new blood. No, I think if they're new blood here, then they're right at home and nobody's freaked out, right? You tell me, new blood. Again, welcome to the new blood. If you did join us for the first time here, again, you got unfiltered as it gets here tonight because it's been a long weekend, but it's been an awesome, fun weekend. It's been an awesome, fun night and alive, and I apologize for going quite so late. I know a lot of you guys got to get to bed and be at work early in the morning tomorrow, and here we are just yapping it up about our favorite fictional serial killer until the wee hours of the morning. But again, I can't thank you guys enough for joining me. Obviously, these lives aren't very productive without you and without your participation as we go. If you are watching this on a replay, which many of you do, then play along in the comments below and feel free to drop your comments down there. I love that, and I will respond, and we'll continue the conversation down there. If you did watch us here live tonight and you think of something you forgot to say or didn't get a chance to say, again, drop it below. And if you don't mind, if you're watching now, hit that like button and maybe just drop a pumpkin emoji in the comments, even if you got nothing to say at all, just to add a few comments and help us out in the YouTube algorithms. You guys know how that stuff goes. The more interaction we get, the higher they're going to push us up in your feeds and other people's with interests. So we would appreciate that. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. That goes without saying, but I think most of you watching now at almost 1 in the morning are probably subscribers already. Lots of good stuff coming as the countdown, the final days until Halloween approaches, guys. This is going to be a wild couple of weeks, and I can't wait to experience it all with you. So again, thank you all for joining us. This has been amazing. You guys are the best. You all rock. Happy Michael Myers Monday a million times. Let's get that hashtag trending next week, bigger than ever. And again, plan on joining me for this Thursday's live. And maybe even sooner. You never know. That's why you got to turn on the notifications. That's why you keep checking. Follow us on the other socials as well. But you guys are the coolest here on YouTube, of course. You guys are the coolest. All right, till then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching tonight. Thank you for joining me. And happy Michael Myers Monday!